Poverty is hunger. Poverty is lack of shelter. Poverty is being sick and not being able to go to the doctor. It's having access to a school but not knowing how to read. Today we think of poverty and poor people as a select few who are living on the streets and begging for change on the corners. In reality, these people only make up a vast minority of those who are living below the poverty line. So you have a fun little fact. I was listening to Paul Harvey with my dad once, and he said that New York bums make about $60,000 a year. They shouldn't be considered poor or on the poverty level, but they are because they're bums, but they're making more than some of our parents. Poverty is a condition of having insufficient resources or income and a lack of basic human needs such as adequate and nutritious food, clothing, housing, clean water, and health services. I'm a social work major and I am currently learning the aspects of poverty and social welfare. And I'm going to inform you on poverty in Idaho, the children who are affected by it, and the programs that are designed to help. This is just a little map of Idaho and its cities and counties and who is in the most poverty. Idaho is tied with Maine with the 27th highest poverty rate in the United States at 11.5%. Idaho is mostly rural, and in rural areas it's caused by lack of access to utilities, education, jobs, and healthcare. About 38% of rural Idahoans live below the poverty level. I know that we live in the utmost urban place of Idaho, but that would be equivalent to about 9 of us in just this room. And even 43% of Idahoans who live in a bigger city than 30,000 rate their local economy as only poor or fair. These findings come from a national poll on perceptions of people who are struggling to make ends meet, commissioned by the Northwest Area Foundation. Putting aside the insurance and education aspect, the most important concern is food. Over 16% of all Idahoans live in food insecure households. These families do not know where their next meal is going to come from or if they're going to get one at all. We wonder why our nation is overweight and lazy. Well, think about it. What's cheaper, chicken and vegetables or ramen and Twinkies? Unemployment is skyrocketing right now, so people can't get a job or afford the food. So what do? They sit home all day and eat the food that they can actually afford. Yes, there are the select few people who just try to get as much money from the government and don't try to find jobs, but that's definitely not everyone. A person would have to work 68 hours a week at minimum wage in Idaho just to reach the poverty threshold at $20,000. And Idaho poll said that most families of 4 need at least $40,000 just to meet the bare minimums of what their necessities are for a year. Idaho workers actually, most of them hold about 2 or more jobs, which is way above national average. So we should, have it well off because we have so many people working. The children in Idaho are suffering the most. Since 2000, there has been a 29% increase of children living in poverty, putting Idaho 22nd in the state-by-state study of children's well-being. The Children's Defense Fund stated that every 3 hours in Idaho, a child is born into poverty. Out of Idaho's 176,000 families with children, 60,000 were considered low income, but only 4,000 were families without working parents, which is the lowest in the nation. Now, wouldn't you think that having a family with both parents working, you shouldn't have to worry? That's the big problem. Idaho needs to regulate their statewide programs and also improve minimum wage. With all these children living in poverty, it means that they are not receiving adequate education and insurance and health care. Even though Idaho does make children eligible for public health insurance, they do so as one of the 10 worst states. So even if you need insurance, you can't get it because eligibility is so hard to qualify for. Education is a joke for younger kids. The state does not provide any state funding for preschools or Head Start, and only 31% of children who need Head Start services actually get it. And this was a shock to me because I did my service learning at Head Start last semester, and I was under the impression that anyone who needed that got in. And Head Start it's a poverty level preschool for 3 to 4-year-olds, and only 31% of them actually get in. So I don't understand why the government is able to turn away these children from an education. According to Tufts University Center on Hunger and Poverty, Idaho's welfare laws rate 51st compared to other states, including Washington, D.C. This last when ranked for their likelihood to encourage and support families' efforts to become economically self-sufficient. With this fact, it is very true that Idaho needs all the help they can get from governmental programs. Some national programs that I'm sure you all have heard of are Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, WIC, which is Women, Infants, and Children, food stamps, and other cash assistance. Some more local programs just around Idaho would be the Idaho Food Bank, Northwest Area Foundation, and the Annie E. Casey Foundation, which organizes and provides data for the Idaho Kids Count, and they also have kids counts for every state. Most cash assistance is very hard to qualify for and includes means test. As of October 2008, the food stamps program has been changed to Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. They changed it to make people realize that it's for nutrition and food, and it's not just food stamps so you can buy anything you want. It's for healthy, nutritious meals to provide for your family. We have all seen the commercials on TV for starving children in Africa that you can sponsor for 30 cents a day. But what about the children in your community? Think about it. We should be helping our community first before we help other countries. I hope that you now know the effects on poverty and